of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize, sweet Belize, land of the isles and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go? Where would I go? Where would I spread my bed? Where would I lay my head? Nobody know, nobody know. If I ever had to leave me home, no other place I ever roam could be like Belize, be like Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize, sweet Belize, land of the isles and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. Creole and Garifuna.
Let us move directly into what we're going to do this morning, the rich young fool. You know how many people are living foolish lives? Because in their mind, the most important thing for them is to come up with that money to do crazy stuff. Or money that they will live comfortable, that they don't need to pray and worry about God. Because that's what those things do. And we'll start from verse 16. It says, then he told him a parable. A rich man's land was very productive. He thought to himself, what shall I do since I don't have anywhere to store my crops? He's not thinking about other people. That's another problem we have. Egocentricity. Putting ourselves in the middle of everything and not thinking about others. That's a problem. I will do this, he said. I'll tear down my barns and build bigger ones and store all my grains and my goods there. Greed. No focus on God. Didn't even give thanks. Tear down his smaller barns and build bigger barns. Store up his food. Then I said to myself, you have many goods stored up for many years. Take it easy. Eat, drink, and enjoy yourself. This is the mindset of people. Okay, so you have enough. You have done X, Y, and Z. You are able now to relax, enjoy yourself. Nothing to do with people. Nothing to do with God. And you know what? This is Jesus Christ talking. I'm reading the words of Jesus Christ. This is what he's saying. He says, that's how it is with the one who stores up treasures for himself and is not rich towards God. Storing up treasures for yourself and not being rich towards God makes you equal to this rich young fool. Many people pass their lives worried about material things and not about doing what they should do to build a relationship with God. That equates one to a rich young fool. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all those things will be added unto you.
Las noticias, ahora también en español. Durante 20 años, PlusTV ha llevado noticias en vivo y de confianza a Belmopán y a sus comunidades vecinas. Y ahora estamos ampliando nuestro compromiso de mantenerte informado. A partir del martes 2 de junio, PlusTV se enorgullece en relanzar nuestro noticiero en español en vivo, transmitiéndose todos los martes y jueves de 12 p.m. a 12:30 p.m. con retransmisiones nocturnas a las 7 p.m. Mantente informado, mantente conectado, mantente con PlusTV. Nos vemos pronto.
In Toledo, your land is your biggest asset. It is where most families invest all their cash. It provides your food and, in many instances, your livelihood. but a proposed law could take control of private land and transfer it to village ownership. Even with legal title, your property rights could be extinguished, even if you owned it before 2015 when the consent order was signed. Doesn't matter what your ethnicity, if your land is declared Maya customary land, it will be owned by the village. And while we wait, confusion grows, misinformation spreads, and uncertainty is taking hold. As written, this bill may require a constitutional amendment, meaning this could extend beyond Toledo to all of Belize. This bill is too important to rush. Let's fix it, discuss it, and get it right. Toledo Private and Lease Landowners Limited, protecting property rights through dialogue.
You are my inspiration, seeing you happy and how quickly you grow. You are so tiny yet so smart. You have the most sacred place in my heart. I know you thought I was strong. If only you knew my strength came from you. All I think... Sir, don't you think you're a little bit too big for this story time?
Excuse me? What about all this discrimination? As far as I'm concerned, I identify as a 4-year-old. Besides, I hear this children's book have pictures, and everybody like pictures, right?
Yeah.
Read away, please.
I do all I think you need and ask. I pay attention with love and care. I love her most even when I think you're not there. My name is Madeline Tucker, and I am the author of My Inspiration. And you can purchase this at any of the Angeles Press locations and also on Amazon.
Blessed Gardens is servicing home gardens across the country from the nation's capital and helping Belizeans reconnect with nature. We have everything you need for your home garden, so get growing. We have various types of soils: fortified soil, composted soil, potting soil, and pure compost for your garden. We have quality seeds and over 65 varieties of food seedlings for your gardens. We even have organic insecticides available, EM soil treatment, and Polyshade for your excessive sun or rain. Blessed Gardens has all your garden solution in one location. Call 610-5679. Visit us at the Bumapan Market Plaza or enjoy our free deliveries across the country. Blessed Gardens. Get growing, Belize.
Cyber Realty and Development is the leader in providing solutions to the current land crisis in Belize. For homeowners and investors alike, Cyber Realty is offering special deals on half-acre parcels in its new Emery Village development. Enjoy prime land off Mile 37 on the George Price Highway at an unbeatable price. All you need is the initial down payment of $275 Belize dollars. Take advantage and reserve your half-acre home sites today. Emery Village. Join the community. Invest in your future.
conducting a defense biosecurity operations against a rapidly mutating colony of foreign microbial invaders attempting to establish residency within the human host.
Oh, so germs.
Join medical graduate and author Madeline Tucker for 60-Second Health Talk, a brand new PlusTV series packed with quick and easy to understand health tips. Understand your body, how it works, and making informed choices for everyday wellness. Learn something new in just 60 seconds. Watch 60-Second Health Talk every Monday on Rise and Shine at 7:30 a.m. on PlusTV. 1 minute, valuable health information, better living.
I'm coming back to your heart.
Foundations. Your work must be grounded upon solid rock, and so should your faith. Join Pastor Louis Wade Jr. weekly for Foundations Bible Study, where he goes deep into the Word of God with biblical teachings for better understanding.
A person might have potential inside of them, a desire to fulfill something, but the word of the Lord can bring that out of a person. Amen? So in the case of Gideon, though he felt that he could not do it, God had designated for him to do it. And so when God spoke the word through the angel, Gideon became who God knew he was all along.
Tune in on PlusTV Sundays for a new program or catch the repeats. We would love to hear from you. Write in and share your thoughts, prayer requests, or even pose questions you may have regarding the Bible passages. Foundations. Unless the Lord builds the house, those who build it labor in vain.
Mopping, tiles, furniture, and...
Miss, you don't need all of this, man. Only this you need. You make 4 out of this. And it's cheaper than all of them put together.
I want it.
Green Clean. All your cleaning needs in one bottle. Do you enjoy learning and wanting to know more about Christ your Savior? Then join Phil Sanders in Search of the Lord's Ways every Sunday 7:30 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. on PlusTV for half an hour of beautiful hymns and Bible messages. Messages are repeated on Tuesdays at 1:30 and Fridays at 10:30 a.m. Search in the Word for God's will. Know more and do more for the God we love. In Search of the Lord's Ways with Phil Sanders is being brought to you by the Church of Christ in your area. Be sure to visit.
So when me face God, you know something. When I think of the love of the Lord.
Spice up your next event with professional lighting. Call 610-5679 and give your audience an experience they'll never forget. Proper stage lighting ensures stage visibility, motivates, and sets the mood of the atmosphere. We provide services for weddings, concerts, parties, dance recitals, and much more. Captivate your audience. Improve your production today. Call Shamax Productions at 610-5679 for quality and professional stage lighting.
Longest show on TV. Catch all the happenings straight out of San Ignacio with plenty of tea. Good ladies here, good ladies. Everywhere for evening, on the show. Laughs and real talk. No one tells it like Andy, Belize's favorite storyteller. So grab your friends, kick back, tune in only on PlusTV. Land the show on TV. Catch all the happenings straight out of San Ignacio with plenty of tea. Laughs and real talk. No one tells it like Andy. Belize.
Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize, sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys.
Good morning, Belize. Welcome to Rise and Shine on a Friday morning. It's nice and bright, sunshiny in Belmopan, and I love bright, sunshiny days, especially when we got stuff outside that we need to get done. But this morning we are here. We weren't able to have a show yesterday because Pastor Wade was under the weather. There's kind of a flu thing going around, and so everybody be extra careful, boost your immune system. Try and keep yourself healthy, make sure you're getting enough rest and drinking lots of fluids, right? But this morning I have Pastor David Shaw, who is joining me. Pastor David.
Good morning, good morning.
Your phone is joining us right at the wrong moment as well. And we also have Mr. William Usher with us, and it's good to have you with us. He is here from the Belize Livestock Producers Association. I was told that he was bringing sliced steak. I don't see any plates or anything. I was going to bring a neck napkin and a fork and knife and be here, but I'm glad I didn't. But he informed me that tomorrow I can get my steak, and we're going to let him talk about that some this morning. So William, good to have you with us.
Good morning.
And so how's the cattle industry going these days?
Well, the cattle industry is doing well for the environment we are in today. We have been seeing growth within the industry over the last 5 years. A pace of more or less 1.5% per year. Today's date.
It would be nicer if it was higher, but we'll take whatever we could get, right?
Definitely.
So it's at least going on the up, right? So
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And we have calculated the industry on a whole, particularly the beef cattle, to value around 110 million if we take into consideration export and domestic consumption. You know? So that's a good thing, and in terms of those numbers, where the industry is certainly rivaling sugarcane, banana at this time.
Very good. In terms of dollar amount of sales and production, that's good. Yeah, I wish beef was the price of sugar, right? But not in the real world, right? So.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, and so, and I was very happy to hear before the show, off air, that you were talking about, our exports over to Guatemala. Guatemala is buying beef from Belize.
Yeah, that's one of our that is the larger export of beef from Belize. Excuse me. We are, last year, for example, that would have been like about 33,000 animals on the hoof.
Okay, good.
Compared to 8,000 local consumption. The local consumption as well has been increasing. So
very good.
More people are eating beef, and that's because the quality of beef has been improving tremendously within the industry. Say from 10 years ago to today. What we have in Belize is really niche green beef in when I say green beef, because some people get upset when I
Right.
use that word.
Not the color green.
Right? No, not the color
Yes, yes.
green. What I mean is that the way we produce beef is grass-fed
Right.
in Belize, and that's actually a niche market where not in Belize but worldwide that's a niche
Yes.
market because of the taste, etc.
Right.
of the animal.
We have
And
we
then-
have a lot of grass in Belize.
yeah, and then at the end game, what we are doing now, there are producers who are now feeding grain within the last 3 months of production, thereby increasing the marbling and the softness of the meat. And so that's what is happening, and we do those things naturally here in Belize, unlike other countries where they are injecting softeners, etc.
Right.
So you go to the US, you go to Mexico, many a times.
You never know what you're getting, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
While here in Belize, it's the real deal. The taste you get, the softness you get, is naturally due to the genetics of the animal.
Right.
And the grass and grain.
Organic, natural, grass-fed, all of those things that they charge a higher price, someplace else, and it's normal for us in Belize, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's
and
good.
You know, some people in Belize always say, oh, beef is tough. But our biggest problem in Belize is we don't know to cook beef. It's just like remember one time in terms of mutton or sheep,
Right.
A lot of people claim, that it smells and it's very hard. Before the Taiwanese mission started training people and teaching how to cook that stuff, because that in itself has risen over the last 5 to 10 years, double what it used to be in terms of consumption in Belize, because people are willing to learn how to cook it. In Belize, most people what do they do? Stew beef.
Right.
And they stew it, and it goes too long, and it gets hard. Whether that meat is soft or not, it eventually gets hard because you're passing the time. So it's really, and that's segueing, that's what we want to show people at the Beef Fest coming over the weekend.
So let's talk about that. Beef Fest. I'm a beef guy, and so tell us about the Beef Fest.
Well, the Beef Fest has been going on for the last 4 years in Belize. It's taken place for the last 4 years at the Agriculture Showground, and it's normally the mid time of the year in August. This year it will be the 15th of August, which is tomorrow, and it's in Belmopan. It starts from 8 and it finishes at 5. It's a very fun event. It's a family-oriented event. You will have a lot of water and soft drink and a little of the other drink, because the whole thing is about meat. We want the star of that fest, which is beef, which is pork, which is mutton. Those are the 3 areas. You will not find chicken at the Beef Fest, right?
That's against the religion, right?
That's against, yes. Right? It's not that you don't want, but that's your industry. So there will be over 40 booths there of people cooking, having different commodity, or say different beef products or pork products or mutton products, whether it's some sort of liquid issue with beef or some sort of and stuff to eat. The Beef Fest originally came about because we want to showcase the industry. A lot of people see animals and they see stuff and they don't know what all of this is about. This is an industry of over 7,000 farmers.
Wow. Very good.
Right? And that's income, as I say, where that is, that's income being generated. And a lot of time people think those are mostly large farmers. In Belize, you will find out that any industry, and if you look at the data, it's amazing. 80% of most of these industries are small producers.
Yeah.
And you have 20% who are the large producers.
Yeah.
Obviously, the converse in terms of production. While that 20% is probably moving 70% of the animal,
right,
there is a 80% that fully depend on that industry.
And that 80% is extremely important for the economy, because you're talking about families with incomes, with jobs. This is their livelihood, right?
Exactly.
And yeah, and that's what shifts things. I think we have some flyers that they had sent. Maybe we could run through those real quick, and then we'll be able to use that. You guys have that queued up for us this morning here?
Maybe you could start the video.
Okay.
The first video, that will give you an essence of what the Beef Fest is all about.
Very good. Are we good on that? Okay. And so, anyway, so yeah. I want you to know I'm sold already. I will be there tomorrow, and I'll have my wife with me, and we're gonna sample some of the different stuff that's gonna be available there, and no chicken.
I'm sure
you can find your chicken. You can find your chicken someplace else. Chicken everywhere, right? And but yeah, and one of the things that my wife and I have been doing recently here is using the beef bones to cook in the pressure cooker for the collagen, right? And then, so my wife, we've been doing beef soup at least once every week, and then take the extras, and use the collagen, because it's really, really good for you.
That's really good.
Yeah. Are we queued up?
Get ready, Belize. Belize Beef Fest.
And Belize Livestock Producers Association, and they have a special event taking place tomorrow at the National Agricultural Showgrounds, and so all roads lead to Belmopan, and so if you like beef, Showgrounds is the place to be tomorrow. And I think it showed, official opening ceremonies are like at 10 o'clock or something like that. So you don't have to get there early unless if you want some nice breakfast tacos. And so will they have tacos out there?
There will be a whole.
Once it's beef, right?
Yes.
Beef and pork and
mutton.
Yes, and mutton. Right. So very good. Are we queued up, you guys? There we go.
Get ready.
Showgrounds in Belmopan on Saturday, August 15, starting at 8 a.m. This exciting event is a collaboration between the Belize Livestock Producers Association and the Wild West Rodeo Club. Bring the whole family for an action-packed day featuring exciting rodeo events, a livestock showcase, mouth-watering Belizean beef, the Grill Masters competition, live entertainment, fun activities for all ages, and so much more. Come out and celebrate Belize's livestock industry while supporting our local farmers and meat producers. Want to compete in the Grill Masters competition or step up for a booth? Call 672-5275 for more information. Don't miss the Belize Beef Fest and Rodeo 2026, Saturday, August 15 at the National Agriculture Showgrounds in Belmopan. We'll see you there.
There we go. That's going to be tomorrow at Showgrounds, and like I said, you're not going to want to miss it. And and then we got some of the other flyers. We could run through these. All right. So William, why don't you go ahead and talk to us about this?
So let's stick here. As I was mentioning before, the show is really to expose what the industry is and what it has to offer, but more to connect with the tourism industry, right? If you know, this show is within the circuit of different tourism fests and events that are going on. And we specifically put it in August when the tourism industry is in its low key to allow for those tourists, and that is local and international, to have somewhere to go to experience
beef, to experience red meat, to experience pork, to experience mutton, and it's bringing to the table the processed meat, and to expose the different processors in the country.
Very good.
Right? So you will find basically the 4 or 5 large processors and some of the smaller ones, because what we want for people to understand, the 3 or 4 type of meat that you see in the freezers at the Chinese market, those are not the only stuff that the processors have. You go to any of these processors, you will realize that there is over 15, 20 different type of meats or processed meats, or processed byproduct of meat. And that's what we want to expose, particularly to the tourism industry, because they import a lot of these things that we have.
Right.
Right? And we want them to understand, listen, these things are available, the quality of these things are available, and many of the tourists, international tourists that comes, they don't necessarily want what they are eating over in the US. They want to have that experience of the meat of in Belize, and where we were speaking about that green, that grass-fed meat.
That's right.
That we have in Belize is what we want them to experience.
So very
and
good.
it's soft,
have a lot
right?
of fat
Because
and like that.
exactly, because the industry, the hoteliers, the restaurants, they know to cook these meat, right? And so we are telling them, listen, we have it, you cook it, and tell the story.
Let everybody taste it.
Let everybody taste it, right?
That's right.
So that's the key. But that meat that you are eating, you have to understand it started on the farmer's field.
That's right.
Right? And so what we want to show there as well, there is the genetic area. We want to show you what different type of let me use it in Belize term, different type of cow. We call the male one cow, we call the female one cow.
That's
By
right.
the way, the cow is the female.
That's right, that's right.
And the bull is the male one.
That's
and the
right.
steer is the one that that was castrated.
Cut, yes.
Right? And then you have the heifers are the one who haven't had a child or say a calf before.
Yeah.
Right?
I hope they haven't had a child.
Right? A calf before. And so these are the things we want to show you, and we want to show you the different breed that exists out there. They are dairy, they are the ones for milk, they are the ones for meat, right? And why they are there, and why we are producing those different type of stuff. So there will be a display there of those type of stuff. That's one part of the competition. That's where the breeders will be showcasing their stuff. So there's that part within the value chain of leaf. There are breeders, and then there are farmers, right? And in Belize, most of the producers are family-run system, and what we are finding out in most of the agriculture production in Belize, including livestock, the age of the owners or those running, the average age is about 45 to 50.
Okay.
Right? And it's getting very old, and we want to showcase to young people what it's all about. And so there is the rodeo component. That's what the rodeo is
Very
there
good.
for, because you will be seeing what kids, there's 2 parts of rodeo that we do. In the morning there is a kids rodeo.
There we go. I got the
right?
rodeo there.
There's a kids rodeo, and then in the afternoon there is the adult rodeo. And in the kids rodeo, there are several things, like the barrel race, and there are girls race, there are boys race, etc. So you will see fun, and that's the family thing, because the family comes out and bring their kids, and you'll be amazed how competitive these kids are.
Yeah, that's
They
great.
come from Spanish Lookout. They come from, a lot of them are from the villages. The cowboy villages in Belize, right? Belmopan go into Kyle, and the guys in PG don't take them for granted.
Yeah,
Those
that's right.
guys won a lot of the competition at the agriculture show. And they are coming back to challenge the guys from Blue Creek and Spanish Lookout, etc. So and that's where the adult component, and that happens in the afternoon, the bull riding and all that stuff. So those are there. And then, as I say, we are showcasing the processors. They will be out there. There will be guys out there this weekend. You will have discounts on processed meats from all these different people. They will be out there. They will be cooking as well because they bought booths. They are there. They will be showcasing their meats, etc. Right?
So there's competition.
I am coming to that. Right?
Grilling competition.
Now, you could put that back on the screen because we want people to see that, right? There is the grilling competition. Now, this is where we are showcasing the guys who believe they are better than each other, like you, Pastor Scott. You should come out there and bring your. No,
I will be a judge, right? And so I will join the judging team because they get to sample everything, right?
If you see the grilling competition, there are 3 categories. There's beef, pork, and lamb. And in the beef category, normally we have flank steak that they are grilling. This time we have flank steak that they will have to do, and there is porterhouse steak.
Okay.
So both of them will be in that category. Then in the pork category, it's pork chops, and in the lamb category, it's actually the lamb rack, right? And these are being judged by professional chefs in the tourism market, right? So it's not just any fly-by people, but the guys who are grilling, man, I'm telling you, they are good. They are really good, and they are not professionals out there. The guys, anybody who wants to join, it's $100 to get into the competition each category. But look at the prizes. First prize is $1,000. Second prize is $500. Third prize is $250 for each category.
Sharpen your meat fork and your spatula, right? And get that ready. Get your fire going.
And then there is another part that we are incorporating this year. This year, the guys from Spanish Lookout, Country Meat, at 1 o'clock, they will have. We are working with them to have a teaching session. So anybody could come to understand how to prepare, how to grill meat. What it's pork, what it's beef, and pork and beef. Those will be the 2 areas. And the guy who is doing that, from the 4 years that we have been having this, he has been the champion. Sorry, the 5 years, he has been the champion 3 years.
3 out of the 5.
3 out of the 5.
So his record speaks for himself,
his record speaks for himself. Unfortunately, because of all the stuff we are asking him to work with this year, he won't be in the grilling competition.
Okay, so
and I know the other guys.
That opens the door for somebody else to.
Right. Yeah. There's a guy from Blue Creek, John F. I am sure he's listening to me today.
Yeah.
We need you in the competition. Bring that big grill. And the many others who are coming. There are Peters and Sons. They are the guys, Mr. Wall and them. They are all coming, right, to compete with each other. And there are others outside. And the guys, listen, there is still chance. You could still register today. Today would be the last day, right?
Okay.
To get in the competition, we have space.
Get your seasonings queued up for tomorrow, but you can still register today. I think there was a number on there. Let's go ahead and put that flyer back up. And well, you do your video first, right? But the one about the competition, yes, registration, and then there's the phone number, 672-5275. So today you can still register today, and like I said, get your seasons, lined up, and get your meat tenderized and marinating.
Let me explain you that.
Sure.
Everybody has to be on the same foot, right? And so you will not have any meat. We are providing the meat for that competition, right? And so It will, when you come out there, you have to come with your different seasoning. You
Okay.
have to come with your grill.
Okay, so this is not coming,
Yes.
they can't
Yes.
marinate it overnight.
No,
All
you
right.
have to come with your grill. And important for everybody to know, this is coal grilling. Coal.
Okay.
Right? So
Right.
that's how you will have to come. So the chefs, the people who will be there cooking, it's displaying their skills. It's real skill. And what we want people to taste is the true meat. So it's not something you want to come and you will marinate. You will have your 10 minutes, 25 minutes to do your thing right there. Everybody start at the same time. And this year what we are doing, because we have meat from 3 different houses, right? Say for example, the porterhouse. We have Ronin W porterhouse. We have Rhineland porterhouse. We have Peters and Son porterhouse, for example. 3 of them are there. So those will be lined up for you in the beef category. And you as the griller, you will choose which one of those you want.
Okay.
Right? So it's up to you knowing whose meat is.
All right,
it will be
all
there,
right.
label whose meat is what.
All right.
The meats are cut to the same size, the same standard. So you will have a meat to compete on, right? And that's the same
You're making
thing
me
in the
hungry,
pork.
man.
That's the same thing in the pork category and the same thing in the lamb wrap
Okay,
category,
good.
right? So some of them we have 3 different houses. Some of them we only have 1 houses. But the thing is, 1 house. But the thing is, we will have the meat for you, and you all will start off at the same thing. So it's really your skill. And in the end, the judges will be judging based on several factors that are there in terms of taste, in terms of quality, hardness, tenderness, etc. Right? And so that's what it's all about. That's normally a very exciting part of the whole day. And of course, in the end, those 40 plus, I think we are about 50. Up to Wednesday, we are like 43, and I believe we are about 50 booths out there. And so you will be able to go and buy from different booths. They are doing all different type of stuff. Some will be grilling, some will not be grilling, but they will have all sort of stuff out there. So we really do welcome everybody from all over Belize to come to the show. It's not a night show, it's a day show.
Daytime.
So don't wait till 5 o'clock, Belmopan people
That's right, that's right.
who like to
That's
go.
right.
Tomorrow will be cool, come out, support, and you will understand what is there.
So one thing you said earlier about the cooking, if you don't, there's a process in getting it nice and soft.
Exactly, and that's what Greg and the team from Spanish Lookout, they will be doing and teaching at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. There will be an hour or so where they are showing people how to do that, and you could come and sample your stuff. It will be excellent.
Very good. Well, I am salivating already. A good thing I'm not drooling, like my dogs, right? But I am definitely salivating, and so tomorrow, National Showgrounds, National Agricultural Showgrounds, and it's going to be a beef and pork and mutton, sheep, cooking competition, and there's also a rodeo, and there's a kids rodeo, and then adult rodeo, yeah, barrel race, arena race, and so you can sign up. The phone number is there, and so anyways, it's going to be it's family friendly event, right? That's what you guys are pushing for.
It's family friendly.
Family friendly,
and you will find a lot of people there. You will actually see people and communities that you don't normally see in Belmopan.
Yeah.
The shipyard crowd, they normally come down with like about 2 buses out there.
Okay.
The guys from Blue Creek and the guys from Spanish Lookout are saying, listen, they will be there in numbers as well.
Very
this
good.
time.
Very
so that's
good.
all good. And I know the guys in Belize rural, this area here.
Yeah.
The cowboys in
The
these areas.
east-west belt.
Yeah.
Yes.
These guys are normally out there. And so
well, you sold me, and I'm definitely going to be there tomorrow, and we want to encourage everybody else in Belize to get out there tomorrow, support the event, support the livestock producers, not only the association but the actual ones that are producing the livestock, right? And so it's going to be a fun family time. Bring the whole family, and so probably big meal will be more lunchtime, right? And,
no, I'll from morning. You come out there 8 o'clock. People are grilling.
They're already grilling.
It's grilling.
Right.
It's happening already.
So you can
from
come
8 through 5.
You can eat all day, right?
And it's important. The price. It's only $5 to get in.
Okay.
Adult, and $3 for kids.
Okay.
We are doing that. You just come in, and I think that would be the issue. The rodeo has a separate price.
Okay.
And that's there. I think that would be like about 10 to 15. They are controlling that area, so you'll see that price there. But it's not going to be anything that you cannot afford to get in.
So the restaurants can also come out and learn.
Exactly. We are inviting.
I'll be attending the 1 o'clock session, and because I always want to get better on the cooking side of things. So.
And that's free. You come and you sit out there and you'll see everything. And you'll be able to taste everything out there as well.
Very good. Very good. Well, we want to thank you for your leadership as well as the others from the livestock producers. And so it's going to be a good event. I promise you're going to see me there. And I'm hoping my wife will come with me. I actually forwarded all the flyers to our family and get everybody out there, right? So anyways, I want to encourage you to do the same exact thing and come out tomorrow. It's going to be an all-day event, and so it starts at the place will open at 8.
Starts at 8.
At 8, and then goes on till 5 o'clock.
5.
All right, very good. So a good way to spend the day, and at least a good part of the day if you can cut loose, and your tongue and your taste buds will thank you, right? And so anyways, William, good to have you with us.
Yes, sir.
And we pray best success for you guys tomorrow. And again, thank you for your leadership, with the livestock producers and the beef and the cattle industry in Belize. And I think it's something that we would like to see that continue to be able to grow. We definitely have room for improvement. And and we're calling forth 5% a year increase instead of 1.5.
Right.
So,
that's right.
Yeah,
that's
very good.
That's what
very good.
So I noticed we both are in black today.
That's right. That's right. Somebody who shall remain nameless in the studio didn't get the memo. And so he's got a black T-shirt on underneath, but I told him, no, you don't have to show off your muscles for everybody, right? And but yes, we have our black on today. And in support of the movement, which is in opposition to the smart acquisition by BTL. And second segment, we'll be talking about that some, as well as some other different things. But I'm cautiously optimistic. I would say let's not back off on the pressure, because we've got some serious things in our nation that need to change that could prevent these things from happening, and that's where we want to go. So anyways, William, thank you to have you
sir.
with
Thank
us.
you. You did a great
and
job.
I'll reach you with my left hand there. And so anyways, we're going to be back for our second segment. We're going to take a couple minutes and allow our sponsors to be able to show you their products. They're the ones that keep us on the air here with PlusTV and Rise and Shine. And then again, we'll be talking about topics of the day when we come back. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go? Where would I go? Where would I spread my bed? Where would I lay my head? Nobody know. Nobody know. If I ever had to leave my home, no other place I ever roam could be like Belize. Be like Belize, sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize, sweet Belize, land of the isles and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. Creole and Garifuna, Mestizo and Maya, living in peace.
Heart disease is when the heart or blood vessels don't work properly, oftentimes because of a buildup of plaque inside the arteries. This makes it harder for the blood to flow, which can lead to heart attacks or even in some cases, stroke. For example, imagine a water pipe getting clogged with dirt. The water has to work harder over time to help with the passing of water flowing through the pipe, just like blood struggles to flow through our arteries. Risk factor for heart disease includes eating too much junk food, smoking, lack of exercise, and even stress. But you can reduce your risk by eating healthy foods like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, exercising regularly, and avoid smoking. Taking care of your heart means living a longer, healthier version of yourself. So start with small changes, like taking a walk every day or choosing healthier meals. My name is Madeline Tucker. I am your medical scientist, here with your 60 Seconds of Health.
I'm a licensed electrician for 15 years. Safety is always an electrician's #1 priority. I shop at Benny's. Benny's give me high quality, durable material. Cheaper doesn't mean safety. Cheaper means danger. When I think about safety, I think about Benny's. Remember, at Benny's, quality is saving.
Best for you and best for me. At Benny's, it's the quality. Benny's, quality and savings. See you at the store.
In the heart of Belmopan, there's a pharmacy that cares for more than just prescriptions. Medicare Plus Pharmacy, genuine patient and community-centered care, isn't just a promise, it's what we deliver every day. From medicines and wellness products to everyday essentials for you, your home, and even your pets. We're here for your entire family. Moms and expecting mothers are welcome to nurse in our private counseling room because your comfort matters. We offer diabetes checks, blood pressure checks, and medical counseling to help keep you informed and in control of your health. We support our community through blood drives, nutrition and wellness programs, and partnerships that make healthcare more accessible for everyone. And when medical information feels overwhelming, our trained staff takes the time to explain, guide, and support you so you can confidently manage your health and improve your quality of life. Medicare Plus Pharmacy Belmopan, genuine patient and community-centered care, always.
The Downtown Super Sale Back to School Edition is back. Join your Belize City Council on Saturday, August 15 from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Get ready for unbeatable deals on everything you need for the new school year. And don't forget, it's a back to school tax-free day. Shop from the Angelus Press, A&R, Golden Bay, The Stationery House, Debari, Digi Wallet, Full Tech System, and more. Need uniforms? Stop in at Mikado, Brody's, Swami's, and the original Little Melchor. Also joining us is the National MSME Roadshow 2026, featuring local entrepreneurs, small businesses, and business support services. Bring the entire family to enjoy great deals, delicious food, refreshing drinks, a free kids zone, and live entertainment throughout the day. Want to showcase your product at the event? Contact our Public Relations Department at 280-2308, extension 259, or WhatsApp 673-9055. Mark your calendars. Saturday, August 15 from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Downtown Super Sale Back to School Edition on Albert Street. Gather your family, grab your shopping bags, and come ready to save at the Back to School Super Sale. Your Belize City Council, always about the people.
So it started off like any other summer day in Belize. I decided to go down to Builders Hardware since I heard they had 25% off on summer outdoor products. I got a couple of items, a chair, a grill, a cooler, and I got carried away, but the prices were so good. But anyways, I might have gotten comfortable, maybe too comfortable. Then I saw the news, man, the hurricane season was not playing with me. But thank God, Builders also had 25% off hurricane preparedness items as well. Flashlights, batteries, sealant, first aid kits, everything I need. And guess what? My grill survived.
In the heart of Belmopan, there's a pharmacy that cares for more than just prescriptions. Medicare Plus Pharmacy, genuine patient and community-centered care, isn't just a promise, it's what we deliver every day. From medicines and wellness products to everyday essentials for you, your home, and even your pets. We're here for your entire family. Moms and expecting mothers are welcome to nurse in our private counseling room because your comfort matters. We offer diabetes checks, blood pressure checks, and medical counseling to help keep you informed and in control of your health. We support our community through blood drives, nutrition and wellness programs, and partnerships that make healthcare more accessible for everyone. And when medical information feels overwhelming, our trained staff takes the time to explain, guide, and support you so you can confidently manage your health and improve your quality of life. Medicare Plus Pharmacy Belmopan, genuine patient and community-centered care, always.
What we see on the streets today begins in the home. It begins with family. Children who grow up in a stable environment where they can play and learn safely are the building blocks of strong communities. To construct those strong communities, our country needs real men. A lot of youth growing up don't understand what that is. Real men are providers and protectors. Real men are responsible and hardworking. Real men spend quality time with their families and raise strong children with values. They teach their children honesty and integrity, discipline and commitment, love of country, accountability for their actions, right and wrong. Real men run things. Aspire to be a real man today, because gang life isn't it. Gang life is no life.
A message from the Ministry of Home Affairs and the Violence Prevention and Enforcement Unit.
Every payday, your money goes to Social Security. They're supposed to guard it and make sure you have benefits when you retire, but they're not guarding your money. The third of BTL is yours, bought with your money, your contributions.
BTL Board of Directors has agreed to acquire its competitor SpeedNet.
$80 million. Nobody asked you, even though your contributions paid for a third of the company.
Expect to get consultation from the public for something like that?
No, I don't think why. It is a private company. It is a private company.
It's a private company when you ask. But who gets the $80 million? From your national telecom?
62 million to the Ashcroft Alliance and 18 million to the Britannia family. Michael Ashcroft met with this board in April and he made it clear, don't look at the assets.
Your pensions, your future, and they told you not to look.
I don't want to continue in a discussion with you. I've given my position.
They are gambling with your pensions.
So it started off like any other summer day in Belize. I decided to go down to Builders Hardware since I heard they had 25% off on summer outdoor products. I got a couple of items, a chair, a grill, a cooler, and I got carried away, but the prices were so good. But anyways, I might have gotten comfortable, maybe too comfortable. Then I saw the news, man, the hurricane season was not playing with me. But thank God, Builders also had 25% off hurricane preparedness items as well. Flashlights, batteries, sealant, first aid kits, everything I need. And guess what? My grill survived.
Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize, land and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go? Where would I go? Where would I spread my bed? Where would I lay my head? Nobody know. Nobody know. If I ever had to leave me home, no other place I ever roam could be like Belize. Be like Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the isles and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. Creole and Garifuna, Mestizo and Maya, living in peace. Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the isles and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go? Where would I go? Where would I spread my bed? Where would I lay my head? Nobody know. Nobody know. If I ever had to leave me home, no other place I ever roam could be like Belize. Be like Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the isles and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. Creole and Garifuna, Mestizo and Maya, living in peace. Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the isles and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go? Where would I go? Where would I spread my bed? Where would I lay my head? Nobody know. Nobody know. If I ever had to leave me home, no other place I ever roam could be like Belize.
Welcome back, Belize.
Be like Belize.
We are here for our second segment, and Pastor David, are you a beef guy?
Yes, I am.
All right. Well, maybe I'll see you there tomorrow, right? But I already messaged my wife and our family, and so I think probably our whole set is going to be, at least all the set that's readily accessible is going to be out there. But yeah, my grandkids love animals and stuff. Our neighbor has a mother sheep, which I think is called a ewe, and a little baby, which is a lamb, and our granddaughters, I mean, multiple times every day they want to go there and they want to, pet the little lamb and then, pet the mom and so, I mean, every day it's just kind of the craze. So I'm sure that they're going to want to be able to see some of the animals that'll be there on display. It'll be a fun thing. So anyways, carry over from our first segment. Like I said, I'm still salivating. I'm looking forward to some nice steak and also some pork and also some mutton. But anyways, maybe I'll see you out there tomorrow.
Maybe. I've lost
right.
going, but
all right.
maybe.
Yeah. So yeah. So Pastor David, some big news yesterday, which was cabinet release. If we could put up that press release, we'll get that queued up. But the BTL Smart acquisition, I wouldn't say it's canceled. What came out from the cabinet is saying that that the cabinet does not support the BTL Smart acquisition. So that is worded very carefully. I would say we're cautiously optimistic. I myself and all the other leaders that I know that we represent in terms of pastors and leaders, plus citizens all across the nation. Pastor David, people don't support this because it's the creation of a monopoly telecom, And everybody's smart enough to know exactly what's going to happen. They can say, for 3 years they're not going to raise rates. What's going to happen after that, right? And so, anyways, yeah. And so I think a lot of people are breathing a sigh of relief. I would say don't sigh too strong right now, because we still need to find out what this means, right? But yeah. This is the press release from Cabinet. Cabinet acknowledges and recognizes that the proposed acquisition of Smart SpeedNet by Belize Telemedia Limited is a matter of national concern. The government of Belize, the Belize Social Security Board, the people of Belize are the majority owners of BTL. Cabinet therefore has a duty and an obligation to responsibly review all available data and relevant information. It must also respectfully consider all views and concerns expressed by its members, social partners, including the media and the public. After careful deliberation, its Cabinet's informed position that it does not support the proposed acquisition. And so anyways, that's big news. I want to thank the Cabinet. I want to thank the Prime Minister for taking a step back. And you know, Pastor David, they use the phrase in good faith, and so we've been doing this for a while, and the number of times that we've stepped forward in good faith, and to have it turn out to be not so good of faith, and so that's why I say we're cautiously optimistic. We will need to see. There's some very ambitious agendas behind this whole thing, and but the press statement, we take it at face value. The Cabinet does not support the acquisition of Smart SpeedNet from BTL, and I would hope, as it's been mentioned in some of the other media houses, that means that that this issue is, I think Jules called it DED, dead, or DOA, dead on arrival. And so I'm not sure if we could go that far yet, because
I'd like for you to explain what it means by the government passed laws to compel to force labor. If the government is the owner, then how will they pass
well,
laws?
I think this is part of the problem that people are having, is because when it's time to make an executive decision like this, then they want to say, well, this is a private company, you know, and so our board and our shareholders will make this decision. But then when it comes time of them wanting money, you know, and just to kind of recount a little bit of the history, Pastor David, but when Prime Minister Syed Musa was Prime Minister, the value placed on BTL was $100 million, and the reason why is because somebody had offered to purchase it for $100 million, and then when everything shifted over, UDP had 3 terms, and Prime Minister Barrow, you know, locked horns with Mr. Ashcroft, and then we wound up paying out all this crazy money because of taking away the telecommunications company. I was saying from the beginning, when that happened, the day afterwards, is, I mean, we supported this, but you can't just take away something from somebody and not compensate them. It's like, give them, you know, their money, like do that right away. Well, they didn't do that. They left it, and so interest and penalties and fines and fees and all these different things. We wound up, Pastor David, paying an additional $600 million on top of the $100 million value. And whose money was that? You know, was this the private company? You know, the supposed private company? That was government of Belize. That was Belizeans' hard-earned tax dollars, $600 million more on a telecom that was worth $100 million then. And so I'm sure it's probably increased in value some, but my goodness gracious, $600 million more. And now this acquisition was going to add close to in the 90s, by the time with interest and on all the payments and stuff, was going to add close to $100 million on top of that bill, and leave us with what? A monopoly telecom. Competition keeps the market pure, right? And so anyways, our difficulty with this was that, you know, there's like an inside group that's making this executive decision, and when it's time for them to make that executive decision, then they claim that we're a private company. But when it's comes time to fork out $600 million, it's government, and that has to come from the taxpayer's pocket. And this is part of the reason why our country struggles in some of the areas that we do, Pastor David, because I think it started off as a good thing. I think everybody supported, the government stepping in and taking the telecom, but it's like, what are the next steps after that, right? And I think some very misguided decisions that wound up costing the nation of Belize, the people of Belize, our money. And one of the basics in democracy, Pastor David, is that we elect the leaders. We don't elect them to become elite and do what they want. They actually work for the people. But it's before election time, when it's campaign, that's what everybody talks about. Yeah, we work for the people, we serve the people, this, that. Then after election, when somebody comes in, they say that when power goes to people's heads, and it's happened with both parties, with me, with us, when it's come time for election, they shake everybody's hand, and you're their best friend on planet Earth, and then once they come into power, and that starts to go to their head. The Bible even talks, Pastor David, sometimes about people being drunk with power, right? Drunk. In other words, they're under the influence of something, and normally that thing of influence is dollar signs.
And they don't understand, I don't believe they understand the power of the media and the public, because in the U.S. boycott, that they can take a company out just like that.
That's right.
Although it may be private owned, if they have a choice, they leave and money talks.
Yeah. Well, I remember years back, before I understood all these things, but my parents explained it to me in simple terms, right? But the Bell phone company, they had Ma Bell, but then they had other Southwestern Bell, they had another, and they were conglomerating together to form one monopolistic, which would basically make them the dominant player. And the U.S. government stepped in because of the laws in the U.S., antitrust laws and stuff like that disallowed those things. Government stepped in and put their foot down and said, nope, you can't do this. And then actually broke up. They ordered, by court order, broke up the company into different divisions to disallow that from being able to happen. And I would say, I think in the United States, I think they understand more the power of money and how that relates to business and people and economics, and so they tend to monitor those things. The Security and Exchange, Commission, they tend to monitor those things to disallow things that would be counterproductive for the economy. And so, anyways, we have a long ways to go and to grow, but I want to say kudos to the 4 social partner senators. Obviously, our own representing the church, as well as very, very dear friend and partner together, Senator Lewis Wade. I'm very grateful for his role, although this was not necessarily a church-led issue, right? But as the 4 social partner senators, them banding together in this, it's extremely important, right? So, but it does become a church issue when we're talking about areas of unrighteousness, areas of injustice, and then just good old, is this going to be in the best interest for the people of Belize. And the answer to that question from the 4 social partner senators was no, this is not in the best interest. This is in the interest of this inside group who's making this executive decision, many of them who are going to profit millions of dollars off of this move, right? And so I was ready, and then maybe I should rephrase that, still ready on pause, if we need to utilize the referendum mechanism, that's what it's for. And so power to the people. Find out, but Honorable Julius Espada, I need to say kudos to him as well. And I'm not sure if you saw this in the news, but he was very careful with his words. He said, the owners of BTL, which is the people of Belize, have not been consulted. They asked him a follow-up question, and he said, this is all I'm going to say until after Tuesday's cabinet meeting, right? And we haven't heard from him yet. That tells me that, and this is exactly what we were praying for, Pastor David, that the voices of those with good common sense and a good pulse for the people and what's best for the nation, that their voices would tend to rise to the top. And I haven't heard anything specific from the cabinet. I doubt that I will, the confidentiality of all of those things. But I take it to mean that some of the very things that we were praying for, we've been in some very aggressive times in prayer. Some of the very things that we were praying for as of yesterday morning. It was, I need to say this, how God led us in prayer yesterday morning, Pastor David, and then the outcome by the end of the day, it's like we give glory to God. I believe that the hand of God prevailed, and then also common sense and good business sense, good governmental sense prevailed. And so I want to officially say thank you, Prime Minister and cabinet leaders. Thank you for those who stood up and spoke up. Thank you for Prime Minister for allowing some of those positions to be balanced and tempered. And so again, we're cautiously optimistic. We will wait and see how these things unfold, because like I said, there's some very ambitious agendas that are involved in the situation. But we give thanks and glory to God. Also want to thank all of the prayer warriors all over the nation, because we were communicating with prayer warriors all over the nation. And I know people were locked in on this issue as an issue of righteousness and justice for the nation of Belize. So again, cautiously optimistic. Those are my 2 action words, cautiously optimistic.
One of my concerns is with politics, you look at your next election coming up, then you start to change just to get another election, but are we really thinking about the next generation?
That's right.
If we're not looking at it from that perspective, then that's anarchy.
That's right.
That will happen. People will rise up. But if they would think about the people put them in office, yes, God ordained the office, but by voting, we're saying, I trust you to lead. But they're not leading, it appears, in certain situations. They're looking for themselves. They're looking out for themselves, and the next generation going to clean up a lot of this mess.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. And so, anyways, we are grateful for some adjustment. I'm not sure if we would officially call it major change. I would hope so. And so that would be a best case scenario in interpreting this press release that came out yesterday, if it would be major change. But again, cautiously optimistic, good faith. In good faith, I would want to say we're believing God for bigger change. But I need to say this, Belize. There's a long list of stuff that we need to work on, and what stays right here in my pocket is the issue of UNCAC, United Nations Convention Against Corruption. And Belize signed on for that, all right, and this is, all right, the Belize Communications Worker for Justice. Yeah, $80 million deserves answers, right? And there was resistance, Pastor David, to to the questions that were asked, the documents and the reports, the financials, the names of the different ones that had vested interest. The social partner senators were asking for this, and then that's part of the reason why the unions, showed up in force. And so I believe, folks, I don't know, we need to wait for official words. I had a long day yesterday. I had a meeting last night, until late, and got up early this morning, and then had a meeting early this morning already, and yeah. So I'm wearing my black, and like I said, Pastor David forgot to he didn't get the memo this morning, and so I want to urge. I think that you should be geared up in your mind to continue forward with the plans that have been made until we hear different, right? And so it's be like if you think that hurricane isn't going to come, and so, but wait, you have to wait until you get official word. Keep your preparations, be vigilant, be watchful, be ready for anything, and that would be my advice to the nation of Belize. So as far as I know, I think that there's still to be an event taking place on Tuesday, and which will be outside the administration building. I could be wrong, so don't take it from my mouth. Let's check and let's find out from the different organizations that are involved in helping to pull that all together and push that. But again, Pastor David, United Nations Convention Against Corruption. We've had different things happen in the nation where people say, we need an independent investigation. Yeah. And somebody else says, yeah, we need an independent investigation. We don't want, the police should not be investigating the police. The government should not be investigating the government. It's clearly obvious. It's predictable what the outcome will be. We need an independent investigation. The truth of the matter is there is no mechanism in Belize for an independent investigation. And so UNCAC is that mechanism. If it's not UNCAC officially, then something like that is what's needed, which would be some type of commission that has the power for investigation, but also to be able to bring criminal charges if necessary, right? And so UNCAC, Belize signed on to that in 2003. People will say, well, I thought it was 2016, 2017. No, we acceded. Now, I don't understand the technical differences between signing on and acceding. They both sound like the same thing to me. All I know is we signed on in 2003. We saw nothing. We acceded in 2016, 2017. We saw nothing. We still see nothing. But our next door neighbors, El Salvador, has convicted 3 former presidents of corruption. One of them is behind bars. One of them died, and the other one absconded to Nicaragua. He's hiding in Nicaragua somewhere. In Guatemala, I believe they have a president and 2 vice presidents behind bars in Guatemala because they have UNCAC. They signed on the same time that we do, and they have 3 corruption charges against top leaders, and this is after the fact. Go back, do the investigation, find out what went wrong, what went right, whatever, and guys are behind bars. We signed on in 2003, and we have nothing. And so on that issue, I confess I'm perturbed, I'm upset, because we need those kind of dynamics of what I would call true self-governance, Pastor David. So
yeah, as you said earlier about the people, the individuals, you mentioned their names, that are standing firm, using wisdom and pushing back against this deal that is going through. Many people, they profess that on the stump. That's what they're going to do, because the people, they're working for the people. However, when they get in office, it appears that they forgot what they ran on, and because of the pressure sometimes in the government, they kind of just come together, and when it's election again, then the verbiage change again to get them in. However, when I'm looking at it, we mentioned earlier that back in the days, Decades ago, a handshake was enough.
That's
now
right.
you can have 1 inch of paper, black and white, written, and they'll still find a loophole. A Mack truck can run through it. Why have all these laws, passing these laws, and like you went back with UNCOP, why aren't they following these rules? Other
That's right.
countries have. So what's going on in Belize? We need to ask these politicians before we vote for them, what's your passion for the next generation? Or are you just looking to hold a seat for another
Exactly.
election?
And what I want to know is, what do you believe? Do you believe anything? Right? Many times politicians, I remember the representative that spoke at my graduation, from high school. He spoke for 45 minutes and I couldn't tell you a word that he said. I wonder if some of these people go to school to learn how to talk for 45 minutes and never say anything, right? And I shook my head afterwards and asked the person next to me, what did he say? And they said, he said nothing, right? You speak for 45 minutes, but all of this just to say, I want to know, what do people actually believe? What do leaders actually believe? Do you have principles that you stand for? And we've talked about President Bukele in El Salvador because of the radical transformation that they have seen in their nation, right? But you know exactly what he stands for. You know exactly what he believes, right? Because as a Christian, he has a very strong inner constitution. And then he brought that, and manifested that into the nation through policies, through laws, and El Salvador is a different country now. And and they actually had to change the constitution. And he said, I'm not going to do this. If the people want that, you guys mobilize it. And the people mobilized to change the constitution to allow him to serve an additional term.
One thing I've noticed in the U.S. is special interest. These people you believe them on the stump, but when they get in office, you have seats that they're going for, and the special interests kick in and said, if you really want this seat, then you have to bend a little bit, and they would tweak it, and the next thing you know,
because special interests always come with money, right? And then that's always the language, that leaders like that speak. So case in point in this situation, we don't want to see anybody fail. We don't want to see any companies fail, but we are smart enough to read the play on what was taking place, and the people of Belize are smart enough to see right through it, right? So anyways, I would cautiously, optimistically call it a pause, and we will need to wait and see, but I am hoping that the pressure will stay on, because we need some serious change, and not only in that area but other areas as well. So anyways,
I do believe prayers work. So
I believe so too. Like I said, I know what God led us to pray yesterday morning, Thursday morning, right? And then we saw what was reported afterwards at the end of the day, and we all looked at each other, as prayer leaders and prayer warriors, and all we can say is, God, we give you glory. We give you glory. We give you glory. Let God get all the credit, because he's a good God. So anyways, anything else on your heart and mind for this morning?
I would just like to say, continue to pray, because God has a way of, everyone has a conscience. Some people looks like they don't, but God has a way of speaking to them. God has a way of speaking to them when they lay their head on that pillow at night. And so it can be a dream, it can be circumstances, it can be a relative. I don't understand how God does everything, and I probably won't in this life, but I do know he knows how to get your attention when the righteous people stand
He
up
has a
for
way.
what they believe.
He has a way.
So I encourage, don't stop on your prayer. Thank you for initiating the prayer that you traverse the country.
Well, I would actually even have to give credit to God on that as well, right? Because it was something that God dropped into my heart, and then I immediately communicated out, because I felt that that's what God was saying. And when I did, immediately there was lots of other leaders all over the nation of Belize that came together for prayer, and so I just have to. I can't do that. I cannot make that happen. Only God can make that happen. So He gets all the credit and all the glory, right? But so I just want to encourage all of us. We need to stand strong in the nation of Belize. We need to stand strong for what's right. And you know, Pastor David, when it came to the marijuana issue, I think that was pretty strongly a church-led initiative, right? Business and unions weren't the primary driver on that issue. And when we did the referendum initiative, you know, it set national historical record for the country of Belize. Nobody had ever qualified for a referendum as fast as that issue. And again, we give God all the praise and all the glory. He breathed life onto that, but that was an issue that the church took the lead on. That was a church
precedent.
Yes, it set a precedent. But I would go so far as to say, from the pulse that I get from sending out messages, finding out where people are at, you know, and what are you feeling about this thing with the smart acquisition from BTL. I would be so bold, Pastor David, to say I think that the record for what was pulled off by the church on the marijuana issue would have easily been broken. I would believe that in probably 1 to 2 weeks, we would easily have 22,000, you know, registered voters, probably more than that, 30,000, 40,000, maybe 50,000, and because that's the pulse of the people, and you know, that's the power of a referendum. A referendum is a petition, and that's part of it's one of the keys of democracy. It puts the power back into the hands of the people, and if that means through a referendum of no confidence in the leadership because of crazy decisions that are being made, then so be it. And so anyways, all of that just to say, to me, this isn't a power play. If it's a power play, to me, it's between the forces of good and the forces of evil in the spiritual realm. The Bible says we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual powers. So if there's a power play, that's the power play that I fight. I could not care less about political power plays. I don't go to political rallies. I don't endorse in those different areas and stuff like that, because we are committed as a church to be non-political, and we believe with all of our hearts that any party that embraces godly values and steps forward with that will experience the blessing of God, and that's really what we want for the nation of Belize. So anyways, I just want to encourage everybody. So far, I believe that, you know, particularly because of the press statement that came out yesterday, I think we're hopefully pointed in the direction of a good outcome, and so we will see. So we're waiting, we're paused and positioned, and so anyways, I think it has the potential to turn out good, but let's continue to pray. Yes. Let's continue to keep the pressure on. So amen. Any final thoughts for you, Pastor David?
I would just say to all the people out there that are listening this morning, let's not use God as a consultant. Let's go to Him first. You mentioned about getting out there in the streets and this and that. If we will listen to God, I'm telling you, we can stay in our closet. Look at Daniel. Look at the 3 Hebrew boys. Look at Joseph in the Bible. God was with Joseph. God is with us. Do we trust Him? Yeah. So I want to kudos to all of those that are listening this morning that understand the power of prayer and praying the word. Let's stick with that and see God move in our government, first of all, in our lives, in our home, in the public arena, your jobs and things of that nature, and let's see for the next generation, they look back and look at the history. How did our forefathers win this battle? Not in the public arena, but through God giving us the wisdom, know who
Very
to
good.
talk to, set people in places that will stand up for righteousness in this day and time.
And that righteousness, Pastor David, will bring blessing upon
Yes.
Belize, right? And so in the same exact way that our neighbors, a little bit to the south, we can look over and see, where people used to be afraid to go out on the streets for anything. And now they interview these people, and little old ladies, grandmas, are saying, I can walk down to the shop and go grab whatever I need without fear. Our kids can walk, on the sidewalks going to school without fear. Like literally, they have experienced a radical transformation in El Salvador. They are experiencing the blessings of God. And I think it was late last year, there was a news story about 5 state-of-the-art hospitals that President Bukele and the government of El Salvador has opened in El Salvador. And so, and those are not private hospitals. Those are public hospitals to take care of the people, right? And so, but that comes from wise leadership. It comes from principled leadership. So you were talking, Pastor David, about these guys that I call them chameleons. They change colors just right before election. They change colors, and right after election they change back to whatever they. We know upon that. We are looking for leaders of principle that have values and a constitution in their heart. So, anyways, we've had some technical difficulties with the camera, and one of them doesn't seem to be working. And so, anyways, thank you for your patience with us. But Pastor David, it's been wonderful to be together with you, and I appreciate you always. Belize, thank you for joining with us today. And please, I want to encourage, continue to pray. Continue to pray for righteousness to prevail in our nation. Again, I want to finish out by thanking the Prime Minister for reconsidering, and the press statement that was released yesterday that the cabinet is not in support of the BTL Smart SpeedNet acquisition. And I want to thank you for listening to the people. I would want to say that hopefully you can realize that people will respect you more when they see that you listen. And so we're hoping and trusting for a good output and a good outcome in this whole situation. So anyways, let's keep the pressure on in prayer. Let's keep the pressure on in pushing for righteousness, for right order. And I would say stay tuned to the unions, to the chamber in terms of plans for Tuesday, because we still have a long list. All of us have a long list of things that need to change that would actually be able to help prevent some of these kind of crazy things from happening. So anyways, thank you for our technicians. Thank you for the staff of PlusTV and Rise and Shine. Thank you for you, our viewers, for joining with us this week. And we will be back together with you on Monday morning. And so anyways, God bless you and have a wonderful weekend. Pastor David.
Peace out.
Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize, sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet